Let's get busy.
Are you a football fan?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. Any issues, we're jumping in, we're recording.
Hi.
Jeni Carr in the house. It's been a while.
It's been too long.
I want to say maybe the last time I saw you was either probably one of two places, either at County Line
I believe.
or the fair.
I think it was at County Line.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah.
It was cold out.
Were you performing, you think?
Nope.
Yeah. We were just
I was
hanging
just
out.
being a barfly.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's always good to hang out with you. One of my favorite people. Is a musician. Really dig the voice.
Thanks.
I'm a fan of that voice.
Thank
Oh,
you.
raspy voice. What's been up?
Man, been busy. A whole lot busier than I thought I would be at this stage, that's for sure. I retired 3 years ago.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because there was, and we've got a few years. we're not like back in like 20 years or anything, but I've known you for several years, and there was that kind of moment where you were dialing it down. What was the rhyme and reason for that?
Well, just before you started recording, we were talking about it. Justin, we've got a son that's 16 years old now, and I always tell everybody, the story about it was when he was little, we were really traveling a lot. I mean, it was pretty hard, pretty heavy. We were getting up at 2 a.m. to go get, early morning radio interviews in states beyond where we needed to be driving. And so Justin got shifted around a lot as a kid. He got drug on the road. Every weekend he was at one grandma's or the others. And we just kind of felt like this was his time, that, he deserved to have his own time and his own little life. And we just kind of wanted to dial back and spend some time with him. We only got the one,
That whole family thing.
I know.
And your only child in this case, and you want to let him live a little.
Yeah, he deserves it.
What was it like for him though, doing all that? Did he understand what mommy was doing? And
yeah, but it was never really cool. The only time it was cool is when he got to go backstage at Montgomery Gentry. That I was pretty cool that day, but it was only that day. But no, he's I think it made him an old soul though. I mean, he's a well-traveled young man. I mean, he enjoys talking to people from much older generations.
Well, that's cool.
He loves history, and he likes hearing stories.
I can see how that could happen. Yeah,
He's
because he would be around a lot of older people.
And oddly enough, though, he's kind of like me. He's a little backwards and a little bit shy. If you talk to him, he's fine. He'll talk to you all day long, but he's not real good at just going up and meeting people, though. And I think it's because
that's you.
It is me, really, because.
How and when?
Well, you forget that in the music business, people know who I am when I walk through the door. My name's on the thing. I'm not used to having to introduce myself to people, so I'm a little bit backwards when it comes to that, and I think he gets that from me. Jason, on the other hand, no way.
Yeah, Jason and I hit it off first time
He is not shy.
No, and I love that about him.
Me too.
He's real deal. Good guy. So all right. So I guess the hiatus, if you will, was family, son,
family, and I think we just kind of deserved a break after a while. We had really hit it hard for 20 solid years. I mean, nonstop. I never took a break.
20 years.
I know, and I'm only 22.
I was gonna say, what the fuck?
I know. How'd that happen?
you were right out of the manger.
Yes. We'll go with that. Yeah. Whatever you say. But no, seriously, we had hit it super hard for 20 years, nonstop, no breaks, and I spent 16 years with one group, and as soon as it was over, we put something else back together and went right on like nothing ever happened. And
why did that? What happened? What was the reason why that 16 years came to?
I think if I could tell you the answer, I think I would feel a whole lot better about it. But I think you just run a course with people. You do all that you can do together, and when you get to a place when you're not able to lift the people up around you, that it's time to move on.
It sounds like my marriage.
Hey, and you know what? It was like a marriage. It was like a divorce when it all fell apart. It was just as dramatic and just as painful as a divorce.
But
literally.
It was amicable.
For the most part.
Oh,
For the most part, we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it. Kind of the same. But
I mean, you always have some hurt feelings. I think everybody.
yeah.
Everybody.
So
deals
not
with
everyone was ready to shut it down.
that. I don't think so. I wasn't.
Oh,
I wasn't. I had a whole lot of hurt feelings, but you know,
Okay.
it made me who I am today. It made me stronger, and I'm good with it. And
Okay.
they're all still playing music. I'm extremely happy for them, and just want the best for everybody. If everybody's happy, I'm happy.
Okay. Well, okay. We'll leave it at that. So that take me about when is this time, year, whatever?
Well, we started in '94. So the last show that we actually did together was in July of 2007.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
it was a long time and a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah. I've heard the stories. I've heard the music.
Gosh, I hope not all of them.
Well, it's a podcast. I would love to be able to share some of those, but out of respect for But no, you from my understanding is that it was you lived. You were a musician, and you got to live it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we lived it, and we lived it up.
Yeah. and
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah. Oh, to quote that misspelled tattoo, no regrets.
Yes.
Yes. There are. No.
No, actually, no. No regrets. I wouldn't change a thing.
Give me a. I'm gonna challenge you on this, or not ask you. Give me one of your favorite moments.
One of my favorite moments, like overall, forever,
No,
or just
during
with that particular group.
Yeah, during that run with that group.
I can't say a particular moment other than just the jokes and the practical jokes.
All
I mean, like literally, we would prank each other on
Yeah.
a regular basis, and I miss that.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, we had so much fun.
Give me a moment that you were like, WTF? Why did we do this? Or why did this happen? Is there one of those? I'm letting you purge, get this stuff out of you.
I think there was a lot of them there at the end, honestly. I mean, it got to where literally Jason and I would look at each other before we got out of the truck and go, okay, ready? Game face.
Oh, wow.
Let's go. And yeah, there was a lot of moments like that. And honestly, some of those moments came when we should have probably been having the best times of our lives. When the albums were out and we were actually.
What was the disconnect, though? I guess. Can I ask? I mean, what?
Like in particular with that group, or
I mean, what changed with you guys?
I spent a lot of years turning down opportunities because people didn't want to take the full band, and I was like turning 30. I think I was 33 maybe, and thinking I don't have much time left. An opportunity came up, and they didn't like it, and it just all started falling apart.
Do you still maintain any dialogue or relationship with any of the people?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's one that I have daily contact with, still one of my best friends in the whole wide world. Another that if we cross paths, we are totally friendly. And actually, it's like that with 4 of them, but there's really only one that I have no contact with.
No contact.
None.
No comment.
Yeah.
Not on your Christmas card list?
No.
No. Okay.
No. Just on that non-existent list, I guess.
I'm kind of looking for a soundbite, but I don't think you're buying.
No ill will, but
Okay, fair enough.
how's that? We'll just leave it at a but.
All right. So I've had these, we've talked in the past, but they're great stories. And then, for people who haven't heard it, so we get to kind of share it again. So that band, what was the name of that band?
Pure South.
Pure, yeah. All right, that becomes past tense. What happens next for you?
And Jeni goes into this big, deep, dark hole, and literally, I didn't know how to function musically because they taught me everything I knew, and I felt like I had owed them that, which was one of the reasons I never took some of those opportunities. I felt like I would have been, doing them wrong. But literally, they taught me everything I knew. I thought I cannot even function. I don't know. I'm never going to play music again. Never, ever.
Really?
Literally. That's the way I felt. And I had one person.
Let me challenge you on this, Beck. Talent-wise, I'm sure you're holding your own. Did you not? Did you not feel like you this was your opportunity just to do your thing and showcase your own gifts and talent?
I was a big old chicken. I was a big chicken. I needed my people behind me. You know, I was big and boisterous with my people behind me, but
But you didn't think that
I was scared to death.
Okay.
I was just this little girl in Nashville, you know.
So at this time you're in Nashville.
I had been back and forth for quite some time. I moved to Nashville in '92.
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
And come back in '94, which is when I feel like I kind of went down and learned the ropes, met some people, come back here and started to develop, you know, my musical business, my musical chops, or shall we say.
But those were, from what I understand, 2 positive years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I still have contact with some of those people today. Yeah. Some of those people became much heavier hitters than I, but I'm still thrilled to know them, and they still claim to know me.
You're unforgettable.
Yeah, whatever.
You have this persona. All right, you're eventually going to get past the fear, this fear factor that you're experiencing, to blossom, to fly away.
Well, it was really, really good for me. I mean, it really was, because while I was in that hole is when I really started writing some music.
It sounds like this is a VH1 behind the music.
I'll go with that.
All right.
But literally, that's when I really started to write a lot of those songs that are on those 2 albums that we put out. And I just started to kind of grow balls, I guess, and started playing at Rubby's. Matter of fact, shameless plug, we'll be there tomorrow night. But started playing at Rubby's at my aunt's place. Back there. Oh yes, you do. I love the fucking food. You've got to have some wings.
Well, that's tomorrow night.
It is.
What time are you playing tomorrow night?
7 to 10.
I think I'm showing up. I've got a. I'm digressing here a little bit. I do now. I'm doing 3 podcasts a week. This one, which is obviously in person, and then 2 others that I do using this Zoom. If you heard of it, Zoom meeting app. So it's kind of it's video, but we're just the audio. But it's a sports show. One's a sports show and one's a UFO show. So,
wow!
But
super cool.
Wednesday night, tomorrow night, Rubbies, you singing. I think I'm there.
You can always podcast from, you know.
Well, I'm tomorrow's night's our podcast. We do the UFO show. I do. Just long story short, 2 people I do it with, where they had a UFO show on History Channel for several years. So we're going back and revisiting every one of their episodes.
Super cool.
That I host. So we do a status call every week, because the UFO thing's kind of gotten a lot of popularity these days with mainstream media starting to show videos and stuff. But all right, we're done. Tomorrow night, Rubbies, wings, Jeni singing, beer. I think it's a date.
Sounds like
Jason
a good time.
Will he be checking?
He is.
All right.
He is.
Good.
Actually, tomorrow's his mom's birthday, so
is she coming?
The whole family's coming.
The whole family. All right.
As my mom says, the whole flipping family's here.
Wings and burger at Rubbies. Yeah, that's very doable.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So now I don't know where we're doing Rubbies tomorrow. How did we say we were doing Rubbies tomorrow?
How did we get there? How did we get here, Kevin?
Yeah, how did we get here?
We were talking about how I finally grew balls, and it's because I ate chicken wings at Rubbies, I think.
Yeah, and drink beer.
Yes.
Yeah, give me the window here when you're.
Okay, so this would have been between 2007 and 2008. Okay, 2008 is when kind of everything changed, when CMT's Music City Madness picked up, Famous by Now.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I was back doing stuff again and trying to carve out quiet time every once in a while. So it changed everything. Started a whole new ride.
We've talked about this in the past, and I'll say it. You can just run along with ride along with me.
All right.
Besides being talented, you're very attractive too. So you are a package. How much have you allowed, not just your talent, but the whole package to push out there?
You
Take me back in the day too.
I think back in the day I used to use it.
You did.
Well, hell, somebody asked me once.
Let me just say this with all you're aging very well.
Thank
dear.
you. Thank you. Smoke and mirrors, airbrush foundation.
Filters on.
I get in the car and peel this off. I don't do the selfie filters, actually.
That's a good thing.
I don't do a lot of selfies.
I'm glad you don't.
I'm in the moment.
No,
But
that's
no,
a
like
lot of natural right there.
like
Yeah.
I think I was like, I don't know, maybe 24, 25, and somebody said, because we used to wear a lot of little half shirts and stuff. I mean, it was the Shania Twain era. I mean,
God,
you know.
Shania.
oh, who didn't? I
Yeah,
mean, she
yeah.
had great abs.
Yeah, everything.
But anyway, that was the era, literally sex
That's a good
sells.
point. Yeah.
Sex sells and country. That it was all cool to be like showing the midriff and stuff. And one time a lady asked me, she said, "Why do you dress like that?" And I said, "I don't know. I guess because I can." And now, and at my age now, we won't say what that is, but yeah, because I could.
Right. So yeah, that would. How much did someone like? That's a great. I'm glad you brought Shania up because Shania was kind of a game changer in the country scene, with her rock and roll husband producer,
Yeah.
and then they came and. My understanding was like Shania, she played along with the Nashville boys for an album or something, and then Mutt Lang enters, and then
Kind of takes over.
and wasn't she kind of like a little bit of an outsider, or not? I don't know what's the right word, but she was playing by her rules, not theirs.
And a little bit of the money rules too,
Elaborate.
When you walk in and you've got money behind you, it's it's going to go good.
Yeah,
so.
I got you. Yeah,
It's going to be all right.
yeah, because he's packed. Yeah, clearly he's bringing his.
And not even just that, his reputation and his background.
But he wasn't one of the boys, so that's the fact that he's a rock and roll guy trying to.
But that's what changed it,
It is what changed.
That's what changed. Why she changed the face.
How did that influence impact you with her run? And then, who else would have been like her?
I think at that point in time, that might be when I really started to develop who I was as an artist, because I kind of come out of my shell. I had come from the jamboree world, if that makes any sense. So it was all Loretta Lynn, and if you got wild, you might have done some Patti Loveless, Ooh, careful with that girl.
Yeah.
So I think when that happened, and I was really just getting out.
The rules changed. with
Yeah,
her.
I was just getting out in the clubs a little bit then, and it was okay to sling your hair around a little bit, and maybe even turn a circle when you were on stage. It was kind of a new open world.
Dress accordingly too.
Oh yeah. And I did.
You did, and you should have.
But we always dressed a little bit funky. There was another girl in the group, Gail, and she's my bestest friend in the whole world, and we liked to dress funky. We liked to wear chains. We liked to wear leather. We liked to. Most people would look at us and go, "You're a country band."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that,
But that's the way we
that.
liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little. That was our stylistic thing, So we were always a little bit funky. And then the Dixie Chicks happened, and
Keep going.
yeah, it was like kick it in high gear. Now we can have some fun.
Yeah. What kind of influence did someone like them have with you? If they did.
That little chip on your shoulder, I guess. That little,
Yeah, there you go.
You-
I got that. Yeah.
that little. You can take it. You can leave it.
Did you have a chip at that time? with you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What was that stemming from though, for you?
I think up to that point, I hadn't really been taken seriously.
Locally or just
Anywhere
here?
really,
Okay.
anywhere really. I think it was because that was before you could come into country music at 15, if you know what I mean.
Right.
You had to live life before
Yeah.
you could sing country music
Right.
back then.
Oh, okay.
And I think a lot of it was because at the time I was still pretty young.
Mhm.
I was still 22, 23 years old at that point in time. A lot of people are like, you ain't lived enough life to. And now, the younger you are, the better. But
Oh, yeah.
this was well before then.
Yeah.
So,
How many followers you got on social media? Come on in.
Yeah.
Your YouTube videos are.
how deep is
Yeah.
Daddy's pockets?
That
oh,
too.
come on.
That too.
Yeah.
Give me, without throwing anybody or anyone under the bus, groups or whatever, what is that experience like? What was that experience like dealing with Nashville at that young age? I mean, were they trying to just fucking,
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's sharks on every corner. I was lucky that I met some people that took me under their wings and didn't let the vultures in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So had a great group of people around me that, like I said, I still know some of them today.
I've heard the horror stories, just not really just.
I mean, I've seen them. I've seen the horror stories, and either you just kind of you can't do a whole lot about it. You know what's going on. You know what's happening, and especially these days, they prey on those young girls.
It's still a good old boys club down there.
Absolutely.
Even though the way social media and how digital music has changed, it's still dictated a lot by that.
Absolutely.
Is
I
it?
mean,
Okay.
it's still all about who you know,
Yeah, well, no. I get that. Totally get that.
And, I haven't even been down in a while. I'll be honest. I haven't been to Nashville in several months.
Keep talking. I just realized I don't have my laptop plug in. So keep talking. Why haven't you been to Nashville in a while?
Well, like I said, this is supposed to be dedicated time for the kiddo, and he's super hot into his sports, and I'm super hot into being mom and busy, and it's just his time.
Was one child by design?
No, it actually wasn't. We originally wanted more, but God didn't have that in the plans for us.
Okay.
So I always say that God only gave us one, but thanks to football, I've got about 40.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes.
You're probably one of those moms.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're
You're
always
the
at the
mom,
house,
yeah.
and
that's how I see you.
we.
Do they see you? They know you as mom, or do they know the music part of you?
They know, but most of them are scared of me.
I could see that, but why? Elaborate. Why would they be scared? In what
Justin's
way?
got-
What are you doing to?
They just know that I mean business. I mean, we can have some fun. We have a lot of fun with those kids, but you will follow the rules. You break the rules, I can come unhinged.
Well, there's no doubt. Knowing you, Jason,
I mean, we're pretty easygoing, but
easygoing, but I can clearly get that. There's the ship steers in one direction, and
Justin has a really good friend that and they've been friends since very, very young age. So they've been at our house a lot. He's actually a twin, but he calls me the crazy mom.
the crazy. What have you? Did you have a moment? Did you just lose your mind in front of them?
No,
or
that's
something?
what gets me. I think he just knows that I can. I've never really had to around him. I just give him that look, that Bullitt County look that I can do.
I know that.
Yeah.
What's stay with your son? What's been one of the infamous mom moments that you've had to experience with him that you care to share? I mean, hopefully you might say none. He's been a great kid from.
He is a great kid.
Okay.
He's a great kid. I guess one of these moments that would kind of go along with what we were talking about was literally just last year at Justin's 16th birthday party, a fight broke out.
At the party.
Yeah, at the party.
Where was this? At your place? Or
At our house. Justin, we live in an old farmhouse.
Indiana, still right? Huh? You in Indiana?
Yeah, in Indiana. It's an old 2-story farmhouse, and the whole upstairs is pretty much Justin's. Front part up there is his bedroom, and the back part is like his game room. So he's got his Xbox and all that, and they were all up there playing
perks
games.
of being the only child.
Oh, he's rotten. I tell him all the time, "You're a spoiled brat," and he says, "I know, Mama."
Mama.
I know.
Yeah.
He turns it on, Mama.
Yeah.
Oh, little brat. Anyway, yeah. So they're up there playing some games, and I could tell that you know how you just know when the tension builds a little bit in the room, and you just kind of know some shit's brewing, and just kind of felt it happening. So I was listening, and I was kind of ready for it, and a fight broke out, and I turned into like the Tasmanian devil going up the steps, and some words were flying that probably shouldn't have been flying around
Twirling
the
at
kids.
100 miles an hour.
But let me just say they parted ways and made room for me to come through.
Just like Moses did, huh?
Yes, absolutely. But it stopped really quick. So that's, I think that's probably why Marcus calls me the crazy mom, because he's seen just a little piece of it. Yeah. But I like that. You know what? They're a lot bigger than I am. You bet they better be scared of me.
It beats the alternative.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're good kids. They really are.
I definitely can see you being, the mom.
Yeah.
So. Is Jason the dad?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. He's all their, he's just their buddy.
Yeah. I got that. So chat me up on what's going on with you now. I know you're doing this trio thing.
Yes, and we're having a ball.
And it's been happening for a while.
It has. We're going on 3 years, and it's myself and Rob Mattingly and Josh Rubel.
Some good people too.
Rob, the greatest people I have ever worked with.
Really meet them at the. I'm going to say it was a county line event,
probably
benefit or something.
Probably. I mean, just not only two of the most talented musicians. I mean, Josh plays drums, he plays keys, he plays guitar, he plays bass, he plays saxophone, he can play the accordion. I mean,
play sax too.
And not just dabble. I mean, he plays them well, and they're just good people. Rob and I had actually crossed paths for years. He played with a group called Midnight Highway for a long, long time, and then he also played with 6 Miles South. A lot of people know Jamie and 6 Miles South. But we had crossed paths for years in different groups, but had never played together. But I will say 100% that if we hadn't crossed paths 3 years ago, I probably wouldn't be playing. He kind of renewed my faith in music.
You mean zero nothing?
I really don't. I may be writing or something, but I really don't think, with as busy as we are with Justin and wrestling and football, and I really just don't.
You probably would have been content going.
I would have been okay with taking a couple years break, maybe get back into it at a later time. But I really hadn't even thought about booking stuff. And then Rob and I I had a couple things booked. I was ready to just finish them out and be done. And I was like, one day I was like, hey, I've got these gigs coming up. Would you want to just split them with me maybe, And boom. Yeah. We played at Danny Mac's Pizza one day, and 3 years have gone by. We've played some pretty big gigs just as a duo and as a trio. I've been thrilled.
Well, you have a history with the fair.
Oh my gosh!
You're there quite a bit. I'm
okay. Thank you.
What's been that experience like? Because when I think fair, I think Jeni Carr. I mean,
I'm like a staple there now. I love it though. We used to make jokes. Now, when we first started playing the fair, you had to play all 11 days.
I think I heard. Yeah,
all 11 days. Your time slot, 4 hours, all 11 days.
Is it because why was that? Because
I think they modeled it after the Wolf Brothers, and they're just so amazing, and they can play like 40 days straight because they are so awesome. And I wonder if they just did it, and so they thought everybody could do it, and Karen Kraft did it. Okay. So, I mean, these are like people that have vocals of steel,
Damn you, Wolf Brothers.
I know. I love them. I love them. They're so awesome. Those they took me like straight in when I came into the scene. Love them. Jeff's wife and my mom are good friends. Okay. So they knew right off the bat. They took me in, or my mom would kill them.
What's the count now? How many years are we talking? You at the fair?
We just did our 24th.
Are you serious?
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That's crazy.
But
and I've counted.
That's not straight. Didn't you have?
It is sort of straight. I really only sat out 2 years, and one of those years I filled in 3 days for Olivia Hinkins. So really, it kind of has been straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go with that. 24 years.
How'd that happen?
Wow. Jeez.
How did that even happen? 26 years playing music regionally, 24 years at the fair.
That's a nice little.
It's an awesome run.
It is. I mean,
I'm really proud of it. I am.
And I'm glad that's a nice little segue. Have you really sat back, by yourself or with Jace or somebody close to you and just said, it's been good. And my run has been, because here's the thing. You are a figure, you're a musician that a lot of people know, recognize in town. And I think it's safe to say you've been influential to some of those too. And,
I really do. I really hope so, just because when we started, it was hard. I mean, it was a much more difficult business. I don't think a lot of people
well, you know, that's
on
great,
any level. Yeah. Okay. I mean,
what was it like locally here back in the day for you?
When we first started, I literally could only name 2 groups in town that have female lead singers.
Well, that's where I'm going, because to me,
I didn't know of any others,
right,
and I didn't know of any that were completely country. Karen Kraft would have been the closest, but even still, she was a variety singer. Yeah. And Sherry Edwards, my idol.
Sherry.
I love me some Sherry. But literally, those were the only 2 groups that I could even.
It was kind of a guy's thing.
Yeah, it was definitely a dude's world, and you had to be one of the guys.
You had to.
Back then. I think that's why I was always known as having a bit of a rough edge. You had to be one of the guys.
So you did have balls back then.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you had to.
Yeah.
But what was it? Give me some story, or I don't know, the vibe back in the day when you first started here locally. Because I've said this, and I'll keep saying this. This town has some incredibly talented people, male, female, every.
Does.
Saturday I'm at the levee watching Kirby, and I love that. Tony McElwain, he'll do a solo, and I'm like, good God, Tommy, that's history. That's
amazing guys. I love them.
Even better people, and
they are.
So, and then then there's Tony's sons playing. That keeps it so loose.
They're so much fun.
Yeah,
but I love them. They've been really good to me. They really have.
Yeah. But yeah, take me back in the day with you here in Louisville. What was that? Initially that run like.
I said earlier, I think a lot of people didn't take me seriously at first, but I'll be honest, I was probably hard to take seriously because I was having the time of my life.
Because it looked like you were having too much fun and not taking the craft as serious, that kind of thing?
That was long before I actually started running the group. Okay. I had this amazing man teach me pretty much everything about the music business. His name's Byron Pendleton from, he's in the PRP area. He started the group Pure South.
Okay.
He was the one that actually found me at Rubby's and convinced me to come and try out for the group. But he really laid such a good foundation for me as far as learning the business. But back then, I didn't have a care in the world. He told me what time to show up. He made up the set lists. He did pretty much everything. We just showed up,
good with it.
Unrolled some chords, and drank some beer, had fun.
And maybe made some money doing it.
I know, when I think about that occasionally. You kind of started on this a second ago. I think about that occasionally when I get frustrated, especially. I try to take myself back to the day that I made my first $25, and I thought,
remember that night?
How cool if you could make some money doing this. I didn't want a number 1 album. I didn't want this big tour. I was just
want to have fun.
How cool
doing
would it be
love,
to make some money? Doing this.
Yeah.
And then I look back now and I'm like, what the heck? How did I get here?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot more musicians, and people probably realize that locally here, that's their livelihood.
Yeah.
And they're
support
playing
live local music people. My
we
gosh,
have to. Absolutely, and that's part of.
And I know that we have such a strong Louisville music scene. Like you said, there are some freaking talented people in this town.
I'd never. And I've told this to people. I would never, and maybe this is just because I don't care. I would never have to leave Louisville to get my fill of the talent here.
No, I there are many times that I've said that I think Louisville's better than Nashville. It used to be that Louisville was kind of a trap. It was a music trap, literally, because you would have so many people here that have been in Nashville, and you just kind of float in and out. Some people go south, some people come north, and Louisville became this really awesome trap for musicians, and it kind of developed its own sound around the people that landed here. I think Louisville's an amazing place for music.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go up and down the streets here, right out front here.
Right, yeah.
We're at Baxter's.
Yeah, we are Baxter's. Every Tuesday we're podcasting here. No, that's a great point. You know, the talent here, and a lot of these people, you know, that, you know, like you, they're still playing, killing it, doing their thing, and I'm doing my part to support it.
We appreciate it.
No, I'm. You know,
but you know, you do hear a lot of people saying that the music industry's dying, or that the live, you know, the club scenes are going down, and this and that. Well, I do. I mean, I know that I've done it long enough. You see trends, things go up and down, and it is a little bit of a cycle, and sometimes it does get on the bottom end of that. But
what? Help me. Why so cyclical when it comes to? I mean, because I've tried to have that conversation. Why is it always this? What's the rhyme and reason for?
Right now, I think a lot of it is music comes cheap right now. Does that make any sense? It's not like it used to be.
Is it because there's these influx of bands or people that
it's the internet? It's literally the digital era. It's in your face all the time, and you've constantly got somebody that will either undercut or do it for free, or somebody that has a little better digital package than somebody else has. And I don't know. It's just I really do feel that the internet has a little bit to do with it. While it's been such a great tool, and things are so much easier, you know, just to market your group and to get out there. As a club owner or a venue owner, I can't imagine having to sift through all that, and that constantly being in your face. I can't imagine what that's like. It used to be you got stuff on your reputation, or club owners used to go out and hear groups literally before they would have them in their establishment, and those days are gone.
Yeah, they're not doing that now.
And you just can't.
I've worked with some venues just because of, you know, they know I've got friends or whatever musicians, and they've asked me to help kind of bring some music acts. And I've told them straight up, I'm like, the bottom line, you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
But don't pay whatever your budget is for a weeknight. Don't pay that. If your budget is Jeni Carr, and then the next night it's someone, and I'll say it, not on Jenny's level, they cannot get the same amount. You can't pay the same for lesser talent. To me, that sends the wrong message, and you know, and then,
and you know, something else that made a huge difference back in the day is agencies. And agencies don't exist really much anymore.
I know of some. I know there's a few that's really trying.
And it's become so easy to cut the middleman out. But yet there was something very respectable back in the day. Triangle Talent has been amazing to me for almost 30 years now. And if you weren't signed with an agency, you really couldn't get some of the bigger gigs, if you know what I mean. And those days are gone as well. You know, with the digital marketing, anybody can just.
Yeah, they're all these people are, you know, venues. They'll go out and look at your social, you know, your Facebook page, your videos. Oh, I think she'll fit in. Well, let's just, you know, and they're bypassing obviously. You know, so there is it's a different age. How has that? I mean, musically, have you accepted it? Have you worked, you know, social media to your advantage, and you know, played that little?
I am a terrible self-promoter. I really, really am. I have not used a lot of things to my advantage, but I've also found such a happy medium with being able to live a normal life and still being able to do what I like to do on a decent level. I've been so lucky, and like we kind of touched on that again earlier too, that I don't know how in the heck I got here. I look at it sometimes and go, what in the world? You know, there's so many people out there that sing better. There's better writers. There are better players. I don't know how I ended up here, but I'll sure take it. It's been a heck of a ride.
Well, it's someone who has been a fan, who's been able to get to know you, the person. You have this energy and this vibe that a lot of people want to be a part of. So I get that part. Yeah, don't sell yourself short. I mean, you put your done your pound of flesh, and you
I worked hard for a long
Yeah.
time. I really did. We pounded it pretty hard, but I feel like if you just stay true to yourself and be who you really are, and you're really having fun with it, that permeates into people. You know that.
should. Yeah, no, yeah. I think the real fan sees that, feels it, and wants to be a part of it. Have you played? I know one thing. You live in Indiana. I know that. What is the music scene? Has that been friendly for you over there? Do you get to play a lot of?
I do not play over there very much. I'm still.
I got to get you connected to. There's a place, and I'm
plug.
yeah, it's I'm not because I'm kind of here, and there's some history with it. You heard of the Goodwood in Jeffersonville?
That's Nick.
Nick,
right?
yeah. We gotta. Yeah. Have you not played there yet?
No, I have not.
Oh, we'll change it. Yeah.
And again, I think it's that you can take the girl out of the country, you can't take the country out of the girl. I'm a South End girl.
You know Nick.
I do know Nick, from here, as a matter of fact. But I'm just a South End girl. That's where my following has always been. So I've always played in.
Oh yeah, I mean, I get that. The country music scene. I have to admit, I'm not a country music fan, but I dig the country music scene here locally.
We have an awesome,
we do.
group of people.
I'm gonna give. Help me cover some bases. You, Shane Dawson, the Wildwoods, and
Yep.
there's others.
That's Jake and all that.
I just actually had a conversation with Jake about New Year's Eve. There's
Jesse
a big-
Dale, and we just have a
We do.
great
There's
community.
a lot of I mean, and I enjoy. But after I listen to them, I'm like, I can't listen on the radio. So, here's the story.
Hey, I think we spoil people. We really do.
Well, you spoil me as a fan because, again, I'm blown away by the talent here.
And every one of those names that you mentioned, just
the Kevin all these guys.
outlandish
people,
talent.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
I'm spoiled. I'm happy. I'm content. I'm very content.
This is a great place to be.
I mean, it could be worse. We could be in the Dakotas, one of them.
California.
Yeah, the upper. Yeah, even California. I mean, but California, man, it's and it's like just too saturated. I mean, it's like it's
a heavy market out there.
And I'm sure the best of the best are out there too. But
Plus, it's just Louisville. You get everything here. Why would you want to go anywhere else?
You
literally do.
Between music, there's food, beverage. I mean,
seasons, allergies.
Well,
I mean,
the seasons. It is October 1st, and we're still dealing with
98 degrees.
Yeah,
today.
yeah, and I think upper 90s tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Wednesday.
97 again.
And I think by Thursday or Friday it's going to start.
Just in time for Friday night football.
That is a good thing. Do you? I mean, let's.
You don't even know.
No, I get it. I have an idea.
Okay,
because,
so when we found out we were pregnant, okay, like the school that Justin attends, we found out did not have a football program.
At that time?
At that time.
Really?
At that time.
Oh, wow.
Did not have a football program. So we were like,
why? Because it's just the volume
this can't happen.
Is it just low numbers in kids or what?
Justin goes to a very small school. It's a 2A school. They only have enrollment of 457 kids in the entire system.
How many kids are on the team right now?
Right now we feed 50 kids, and that's including the trainers and coaches.
So probably less than 50 players.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have about 46 players. 40. No, I'm sorry, but probably 44.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to.
You lose a few through the year,
Yeah.
and you split those into JV and varsity. We barely make a team sometimes.
Yeah,
but
you're having fun though.
We
They're
love
having
it.
fun.
I love that we can be as involved as we are. It's a
How
lot
are
of fun.
you involved?
I don't want to say that I organize the parent group. How's that?
Okay, no, that is
some
being
people like
involved.
to say that I'm head of it. I'm not head of it. I kind of organize everybody. We We feed them a team dinner.
You're one of those. You can whistle, can't you?
No.
I could see. I could always.
I
would
yell.
just assume you would just
Like,
put your-
no, Jason can do that. I'm really jealous. My mom can do it too. I can't do it.
I would have thought you could have pulled that off.
I can't. I
No?
I ring the cowbell and scream real
There you go.
loud.
All right, well, you got.
I should not book shows through football season. But no, we absolutely love it. But literally, when we found out there was no football program, we were like, well, we got to send him to Floyd County.
What school does he go to?
He goes to Eastern in Washington County.
Okay.
But we're so glad we made the choice. When he was in kindergarten the year they started the football program.
So did you like know that your son was going to be playing football
You betcha.
at that young age?
Absolutely. You just don't even know.
No,
Like-
I kind of know.
Like-
that doesn't really surprise me as far as
Yeah, like
how
when
I
we
know.
found out we were pregnant, I'm like, I
So
hope
Jason's-
I hope it's a boy.
he's totally a football dad too.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all up in that.
Yeah. No, it's football time is fun.
The cool thing is then that when they see my red truck pull in, they know that we've got the food. So
Yeah.
like they
You're
love
the
seeing
hookup,
us.
yeah.
Yes, they
Yeah.
love seeing us.
There is, back in, when I didn't play football, but I was, I'm a sports fan. And, Friday nights, school, I went to Manville. So, and then, like Claire, she cheerleads.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would go, just to, watch Claire cheer and, but that whole, that is a different animal. Just that vibe, it is.
Yeah, I cheered. My uncle played, was a very, very serious, both of my uncles were very serious ball players. And when they actually played at Fairdale High School, I was like 4. So I had like the little mascot uniform. And so I started cheering like, way before.
Well, let's talk about that real quick because you started cheering them and that carried on to high school.
Yep, that's where I got my love of football, though.
Yeah, and didn't you have a college cheering too?
I did.
Right?
I cheered at U of L.
Yeah. All 4 years or how long?
No, only 2.
2. But
Yeah, and then
Only 2.
I went to
Yeah.
business school.
Yeah.
Music got in the way. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird, kind of.
You still right at that point. You were. I guess I really, if you told me, I can't remember. But really, when did music started running your life, or
It was so weird because I tried out for concert choir on a dare. Like I
In
had
high school.
in high school,
Yeah.
my junior year of all things, on a dare from one of my friends. He dared me that I wouldn't do it, and you don't dare me if you don't want it done. So I did, and like shock of my life, I made it. And then my senior year, we used to do like a Broadway show, and always put on some sort of Broadway production. And then my senior year, we were doing Cats. And I didn't try out for any leads or anything like that. Didn't have any interest in it whatsoever. And the girl that actually had the lead was sick one day, and I got thrown to the wolves. The teacher, I think it was actually meant as a joke. I honestly thought she
It's a great
thought I
story.
would fall on my face, but she told me to do it, and then I ended up with the lead. From that point on, I kind of started dabbling here
Good
and
God,
there.
that sounds like a hallmark.
Isn't it awful? I was bit by the bug,
Yeah.
and literally, that's kind
But
of.
that was your first time and really kind of being in the spotlight.
Yeah, I thought, wow. People
like
always said
that.
I could sing a little bit,
Yeah.
but I didn't really think so until then.
Yeah, wow, that's a great story.
It was a lot of fun.
And you're still doing it. But see, here's the thing.
Seems like a dream.
Your music is not your livelihood. I mean, you have a daytime. No?
Nope.
Music is?
Yep. It's for the past
weren't you like
18 years.
No, I'm talking about, weren't you like working with a
I did.
radio or something?
I had dabbled in some
Okay,
things here and
all right,
there.
all right,
Now,
I
when
get that.
I quit work full time when Justin was a baby,
Okay.
so it's been nothing but music.
But I
since
thought
then.
there was a recent run that you started working with.
I went back to work about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Okay, that I remember.
And it
hearing
lasted for about 10 months,
this. Yeah, okay.
and it got in the way of music
And Friday Night Football.
and Friday night football. Literally,
Yeah.
they had tried to make me work on a Friday. No,
That's bullshit.
but no, I'm actually going back to school right now. Can you believe that?
For?
Real estate,
Really?
because that's what old singers do.
Is that what singers do?
That's what we do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Check it out.
Real estate.
That's what we do. Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it gets in the way, if I've got time to
How long's that been going
on? Just a couple months. Literally. I'm still studying contract law. It stinks.
Well, how long was school for that? That's not that long, though.
Well, I'm doing it online, so I can actually make it as quick as I want.
Right.
I'm not in a hurry.
But we know you're not online on Friday nights.
No. Only to post
nights.
videos.
Yeah. How many gigs a week are you or whatever? How many gigs are you pulling off in a week, a month?
This week and next week we got 3 a week.
3
so
each. Okay.
we're still working.
It sounds like it. Rubbies is a constant though.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the first Wednesday of every month.
All right, just the first Wednesday.
That's our monthly group therapy session where we get over all the Wednesdays at once.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's our reoccurring gig. But I'll always play at Rubbies. That's family.
Yeah, it is.
I'll always go there.
Sell them.
Plus their wings.
Their wings. Yeah. There are some good wings. Where's the others? Are they just
Louisville Pizza Company
random?
this weekend.
Over in
Rec Regal Parkway.
Yeah. Mm.
We've actually that was one of the first places we ever played as a full band
Really?
with Pure South. Way back there.
Has it been that long?
It has.
But no, has it always been that name? No, it was used
Chubby
to be
Ray's he
Chubby-
goes
yeah,
by
yeah,
a lot,
that's
but
right, yeah.
we've always called it Louisville Pizza
Yeah.
Company.
Is it Little Pizza now?
Yeah.
It used to be Chubby.
Well, it's
Or no.
online. It's Chubby Ray's
Yeah,
original
you're right,
Louisville
you're
Pizza
right, you're
Company
right, you're right,
and
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bistro, something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ray.
Is there what's left for you to? It's on your bucket list, music bucket list.
Well, I still want to do a Crossroads with Phil Collins, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. But I don't know.
That's a great. But is there someone regionally or locally that you would like to collaborate with?
I always like to collaborate with different people. I mean, JD and I do shows together a lot. I love working with Dustin Collins, and I've done a lot together. Alan Lane and I like to collaborate.
I need to get you, on Tuesday nights. Kevin Cummings is there on Tuesday nights, and he has an open mic.
Yeah,
and he
Kevin.
wants musicians to come and sing. And Josh Logan's there with him,
Yeah.
so Olivia's there too. And I'll do my podcast, and I'll kind of ride over there and catch the tail end of that.
Awesome! I didn't know that was going on. I'll have to go crash the party.
Yes,
one day.
that would be.
I love all those people.
Give me a heads up, because if you do it, I want to.
And it's on Tuesdays.
It's on Tuesday nights. There, he does it from like 9 to 1. So yeah, he's him and Josh it's their little thing, and then they'll have whoever wants to come and hang
Super
out.
cool.
Doug, Doug Benson.
I do.
Doug's over there quite a bit. There's several musicians. It's a fun night. So
Well, how dare they have this party all this time and not tell me?
I'm gonna.
That's cool.
So
And it's in
definitely
my
gotta
neck of the woods. I can still.
Yeah, how far is Jeff's from you? Where are
About
you?
25 minutes.
'Cause you're up
Yeah.
off 65 still.
Yeah.
Is that off 65?
Well, we take 64 to get home, like up
so
towards Paoli.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a ride.
So you mentioned music bucket list, collaborating, but
I'm actually working on something right now that's been on my bucket list for a while.
Musically?
Yeah,
What?
musically. I'm working with the Christian group right now that
yeah?
we've, in addition to the trio, we've just actually we've been doing Tuesday nights, and it's been a lot of fun and something we've been talking about for about 5 years
is this
now.
through your church? Or?
Yeah, but a lot of the guys that were in the last band that people have seen me with, these are those guys.
Okay.
But I met them all at church, and that's how we all kind of hooked up. But I've known a lot of them, like Rob. My gosh, I have 2 Robs. But
Matt, who's the other?
Rob Payne. I've known Rob Payne for, 20 years now. He's just an amazing, amazing musician, and a big name that most people around here know. Great bass player too. So that's a bucket list thing.
Well, that's
But it's
musically.
happening.
What's the bucket list personally? What's left for you
Get
to
through this school right now, but honestly, I am 100% all about my kiddo
I'm
right
sure.
now. Just helping him reach his dreams right now. He wants to play college ball.
Does he?
I cheered at U of L. We had an uncle that played at U of L, and So he wants to play football at U of L. So
Let's hope so.
we're gonna keep. our
How's he
fingers
doing
crossed.
football? Is he?
He's a little beast. I love
he?
him. Yeah.
Didn't I see him catch a touchdown the other night?
Yeah. Well, like we said, he's at a small school, so he
Yeah.
is playing both sides of the ball. So he gets to hit people, then he gets to catch the ball.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
it's the life.
Yeah. Wow.
Sorry, I love football.
No. What's your? I know you went to. Do you like still follow like? Is U of L your college school?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely, but I'm very proud of the Cats. Very, very proud of the Cats. I mean,
I'm a Cats fan, and this year it's been a struggle so far.
but you know
so-
what? That program has come a long way,
It has.
and it's good for both
It
programs.
is.
So
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
I'm not
Totally
a Cat hater at all.
No, same. I'm not a little hater.
No.
I-
It's good for everybody.
my ultimate somehow, some way, because one of my podcasts is a sports podcast, and I've got to find a way to get during the off season Lamar Jackson on. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
That's to me. That's
You better call me.
He won a freaking Heisman in our state. Yes, he wore Cardinal.
You better call me that
yeah,
night.
Yeah, so.
Uh-huh.
Wow. What is next? Down the road, we got the trio thing. Is this still?
I think that's going to stick for a while.
Stick for a while.
We have such a musical freedom with that. The acoustic thing has just been, I don't know. It was not what I expected to go over the way it does, but
Now, don't take this the wrong way. And then the acoustic thing, I love.
Mm-hmm.
I've also heard you with the full band. You're pretty damn good in a full band. That whole band sound.
I know what you mean.
It's just heavier, and
It is, but I think that's kind of what we've really enjoyed about the acoustic trio
Okay.
thing is that we can really focus on the lyrics and
Okay.
actually, we're doing a lot of older country, and I love it because it feels like it's kind of renewing my country soul, shall we say? That's my chicken soup right now.
Is your voice hanging?
Yeah,
Doing all right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I got vocals of steel.
Do you?
You can't hurt them now.
You got a great voice. You
Thank
really
you.
do have a great voice. Let's. We've done this before, but I can't remember the answers, so we're going to do it again. My
Okay.
little round of shots were out. It's a little rapid fire.
All right.
So try not to give me your rehearsed answers. That you might have. I don't know. You remember doing this with me?
I
Say you
can't
don't.
remember.
Never mind.
No, I don't remember.
First concert you attended.
Bon Jovi and White Snake.
It was the hair. How was the hair that night?
Big. Yeah.
And you dressed pretty
You
much the
betcha.
part too.
You betcha.
No.
I just remember when we left. I know this is supposed to be rapid fire, but when we left,
good.
we were driving like an '84 Escort. I couldn't drive, so Mom took me and my friend, and
Which was probably then a relatively brand new car.
It was a pretty new
Yeah,
vehicle
yeah.
because I think this was in '86. I'm pretty sure. But Mom had taken us, and we were taking the back roads back home because there
Where
wasn't
was
really.
this at the fairgrounds?
Yes, it was at Freedom Hall.
Freedom Hall.
At the time, of course, I lived way out in Cedar Grove Road. Well, you didn't have an exit on 65 to get to Cedar Grove Road at that point in
Gotcha.
time.
Yeah.
So you either got off at Brooks or you got off at Fairdale, and you took
Right.
all the back roads. And I remember we got off of the interstate, and we were going over the railroad tracks, and my friend had said something, and my mom said, "Ah!" She was like, "What?"
Because
She could not hear
because of the noise
anything.
during the
And we had the radio on because we were on the interstate, so nobody really thought that we couldn't hear
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So when we turned the radio down, my mom was like, "What?" So, anyways,
Did she have fun?
she had a ball, especially when they played "Smoking in the Boys' Room." She was all about that.
Yeah, she knows that was one she definitely knew.
Yeah.
That's all right. Superpower. What would it be? What would Jenny's superpower be?
Oh my gosh. Diffusing.
Are you like a peacemaker?
I am
Are you?
actually. Yeah, I tend to get in the middle of things a lot, and
Really?
I'm a Libra, so I'm always the person that's in the middle. The great counselor, I guess.
If you were stuck in an elevator with a celebrity, who would that be?
dead or alive, or does it matter?
Let's stay alive.
Let's say alive.
Yeah, because I really don't want to wheel in a carcass, old dead body just to humor you for a few hours. Alive.
I'm going to go back to
Reset.
what I said just a few minutes ago. I'd love to be trapped in an elevator with Phil Collins. Yeah. We would be like
One of the
singing.
greats,
Yeah.
In the air. So like, would y'all do it?
Absolutely.
Have you done that?
No.
I would love to hear
No.
you try that.
But I would be the one going. Sorry, drum solo.
Yeah, it is one of the iconic drum solos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pizza fan?
Absolutely.
I know. What's your favorite topping? Pizza. Give me your ultimate pizza topping.
I love a good Hawaiian pizza. I've been on a kick lately. I know. Isn't that awful? But
Pineapple.
normally we're just good-o sausage and pepperoni and like Canadian bacon.
Right.
But I can handle like everything except anchovies.
Yeah, I want anchovies. I just recently Wicks, the big Wick.
Yeah. And I prefer no black olives, but
I can tolerate them.
yeah, as long as they're not like really heavy.
Yeah. Right, same.
Otherwise,
Same.
anything.
Scars? You got any scars?
Lots.
Give me a weird scar story.
Right there.
All right. Wow. Wow.
I was in 8th grade, and we were getting ready for a derby party. And actually, there was a cheerleading camp going on at the same time as well. But we were over at my grandma's house, and we were getting ready for a derby party. And she had like this, almost like an atrium. It was basically just an outdoor sidewalk area with a lot of plants, but it was all sort of screened in with storm windows and stuff. And my mom had asked me to pull some slack on the water hose for her. And I flung the door open, and it come back at me, and I put my arm out to catch it and went through the glass.
Owie.
And literally cut straight down my
You
my
didn't
veins
like
there and-
no veins or anything got.
No, a vein did get punctured. I had glass in it and stuff, but
Good Lord.
yeah, I know. And I was in 8th grade.
Is blood shooting out from everywhere?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
But the other one, and it's on the same hand. I did that.
It is October. The whole
Yeah.
Halloween and all that stuff thing.
But I did that the day I moved to Nashville. So that one's a good score. That's a good scar right there.
Good
Peeling an
start.
apple.
Oh,
I'll always remember that.
peeling an apple.
I was literally, we were packed up, getting ready to move, getting ready to leave, and I thought, I'm
the
going to eat an
knife.
apple before we hit the road.
The
And
knife went a little far. Okay.
needless to say, we left the next day.
All right, pet peeve.
Two-faced.
I would have thought you would have said when the referee blew a call on a Friday night.
Yeah, well, referees having Velcro on their flags in their pockets, that bothers me. But
Two-Face, huh?
yeah, two-faced side.
From just general.
Period. Yeah, just be who you are.
Same. If you had access to a time machine and could go anywhere in the past to observe, you're not changing the future, you're just going in the past, where would you go?
I'd go visit Jesus. I'd get the real story.
The real story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
These last three are, to me, I think with me and a lot of people would think the most important questions to ask.
Okay.
The first two are yes or no. The last one, give me an answer in 2 sentences or less.
Okay.
I already know the answer to the first one. Is there a God?
Absolutely.
2, are we alone in the universe?
No.
Okay. And I'm going to digress a little bit. We're not alone because there's little ETs. What's your, without getting too heavy, just what do you think's out there?
Honestly, I would just have to say I don't know. I mean, because, God being a superior being, we're not supposed to know everything, Yeah, I would have trouble thinking that we are his greatest creation,
Fair. And last, what happens when we die?
I think a lot of that's open to what you believe will happen when you die. If you think there's nothing, then there's probably nothing.
What do you believe?
I believe that if you believe that you will go meet Jesus, absolutely.
Okay. I'm counting on that.
But I believe if you don't think there's anything there, then there's nothing there.
It might be just flip the switch.
Exactly.
Jeni, where can people check out your pretty face and all your music, social media. Where can people find you at these days?
Well, it's easiest to just Google Jeni Carr because I've got so many of them at this point. But Facebook, we do most of our stuff on Facebook. It's under Jeni Carr Music, and then of course we got our .com at jenicarr.com, and we tweet and we Instagram and we everything else. So
Pleasure was mine.
pleasure's